After the absolute overpriced buggy disaster of Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, before that, Fallout Day, and before that, the last update to Fallout 76 made the game unplayable. Or was it the last 2 or 3 updates to that game that did the exact same thing and didn't fix anything? In any case, if you're a Bethesda fan, it's not looking good. Well, to be absolutely honest, it has not been looking good for the past decade and a half if you're a Bethesda fan. But boys, if you're a Bethesda hater, I mean, this year has been amazing. This has been one of my favorite years to hate Bethesda in a long, long time. All the broken promises, all the lies, all the everything. Bethesda has lost, at this point, what, maybe 90% of their fans? Even the super fanboys are no longer around. And now, even better news, boys. You know that I'm waiting for the Fallout TV show season 2 to finally drop, because I expect it to be an absolute disaster also. It's gonna have an extremely less of an audience than it had the previous time, and it's not gonna pay off. And now we have the trailer for the Fallout TV show season 2. And, well, obviously, the lore's completely fucked. There's no even point in actually mentioning any of that. But we get a lot of good tidbits, a lot of interesting stuff. And it's easy to tell that this time around, they, as I predicted, are spending more money now for seasons 2 because of the absolute lightning in the bottle situation because of season 1. Which means they are in no way getting back the money that they spent on this. So we are probably just this much closer to Todd Howard finally getting fired. Oh boy, I hope he takes Emil Paglarino with him.
There's a lot to pick apart with this trailer. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not wait any longer and dive right into this.
I also want to get secondhand opinions.
The big one for a lot of us was what was happening within New Vegas, because think about it. At the end of season 1, we see the credits roll and we go through a very destroyed New Vegas. And people were going, oh my God, they did it. They completely destroyed New Vegas. Todd's dream has come true. But then
Based Maddie literally using my point of Todd's dream of destroying Fallout New Vegas because he's a spiteful man.
We see a season 2 teaser and we see New Vegas from the distance. We really don't know what's going on in there yet though. And this trailer answers some of that. We see Freeside and we see there is a population here. It's, you know, a lot of stragglers and there's, you know, fire coming out of the barrels and everything like that. But Freeside is populated.
Why is fire coming out of the barrels during the day in summer? Why?
It looks like the New Vegas Strip also has some sort of civilization, a Deathclaw civilization. So it's still kind of wrecked, but there are people living here and it looks like it's...
You see? These are the Deathclaws you need to be worried about, not your Fallout 4 garbage.
Gradually having life brought to it, because there are certain parts of the trailer where you see,
look at this,
more and more people coming in as a massive group. So
wait, he's shooting it with an anti-matter rifle, which is the end game sniper rifle in this game. Okay, so there you go. Admittedly, he's using basic bullets. You need to use explosive bullets and target the ground near the feet. That's how you deal the damage.
Parts of the trailer where you see more and more people coming in as a massive group. So it might be about taking back the strip, which I think is really interesting. But it's nice to see that there is life here. A lot of people were worried that it was going to be straight up abandoned, and that doesn't seem to be the case here. So I thought this was a pretty big implication that, okay, they've kind of hit the reset button on New Vegas itself, but that there are still people here, and it looks like they're trying to take it back. That's step 1, though, because step 2, I think, is a way bigger deal, if true. We see the Securitrons fighting against the Brotherhood of Steel. And when we see that happening, all of a sudden that screen changes into the army face. This only happens when you use the platinum chip in New Vegas as the courier to upgrade Mr. House's Securitron army. And so when we saw that, immediately we're like, okay, we're on that path. Like, the courier finished
This is true, by the way, obviously.
his mission, but then we see the ghoul, not Cooper Howard, the ghoul, right? So like the current timeline of Fallout Season 2. And on the screen appears Mr. House, which may indicate that they are building off the House Always Wins ending in some way, shape, or form.
People have been speculating this. I don't know. They're just gonna use the ending that allows New Vegas to be blown up and destroyed at the end. Also, yeah, this is not my house.
I know that Bethesda has said that they aren't going to do that. I know the writers of this season have said they aren't going to do that. But now I'm looking at them like, Mr. House is still around. You have the Securitron army with the army faces, with the platinum chip being used. Like, are you sure?
By the way, the fact that people are trusting Todd Howard when he says, oh, we're not gonna destroy the lore. Dude, the TV show has already done absolutely 100% irreparable damage to the lore. Ghouls are immortal. Super mutants are pretty much magic now. That power armor has this glaring weakness that makes it one-shottable and only one guy knows about it. It's garbage. Capitalists destroy the world because the ultimate goal of capitalism is to kill the world so they can make all the money. It's just... No, the show is just pure tisms.
You're not building off the house ending, or at least implying that you are, because there's a lot of telltale signs here. But to me, this feels like the right one if they were to do that. And my philosophy has always been, and though I'll stand open to being wrong on this, is that you have to pick a direction to go in, because if you try to avoid everything that happens within New Vegas, then you say nothing meaningful at all. So I've always been of the proponent of you.
What does this sweater say? No bull. I mean, we know that there's probably a bull in Maddie's life.
Have to build off at least the canonical ending, the one that does decide, like, this is where the Fallout timeline is going. I don't think it really hurts what New Vegas accomplishes in its massive choice and consequence. Maybe many of you disagree with that, and I totally understand why many would. But for the TV show, which is doing a great job, like, carrying the timeline forward, for me, like, I was totally in on them maybe building off the House Always Wins ending, and it seems like that's being implied here. Either that, or you finish the job by upgrading the Securitron army, and then any of the endings can happen, and somehow Mr. House lives through all of this, which your guess is as good as mine. But I just thought this was easily, for Fallout fans, for the hardcore, the biggest reveal. Like, Mr. House is still around now, because it was cool to see Robert House in season 1, like, chilling at the table, like, oh, there he is. And we also saw him, like, in a teaser in the flesh, but now we actually see him, like, proper Mr. House on the screen, current day Fallout.
I don't like this. It doesn't look like Mr. It kind of resembles him, but you know it's off. It doesn't feel that powerful. It feels like, hey, get me a margarita, my dude.
I think that's a huge deal. So that's the part of this I'm so deeply interested in getting answers on, because I don't know if we can really say for sure until season 2 is complete what they're actually doing here. But again, the lore implications are pretty huge here. But it's just nice to see, like, hey, New Vegas still has some civilization. They're looking to probably take the strip back, and they're...
I, again, think that the whole thing is gonna come down to everything gets blown up and destroyed in New Vegas. Todd Howard does not want New Vegas to survive, obviously. We have talked about this many times. Because Bethesda's best game is Fallout New Vegas, still, after all these decades. And everyone knows it, pretty much, and Todd hates it. Because all of his greatest achievements have been undermined by a game made in less than a goddamn year. That's pretty pathetic. Listen, I don't have a lot of pride. I don't have any pride. Pride is the side of the fool, in my honest opinion. But man, if I was in that situation, even I would have my pride hurt. Okay, so Todd, someone who probably has struggled all his life, being made fun of being like, what is he, like 5'2" at this point? He's shrinking with time now. It is what it is. And he needs to now deal with this? Nah, he's making this go away. He's making this disappear. Todd will find a way to make this all explode. Now, granted, there are chances that things got swapped around because Bethesda has lost all trust from Microsoft, and maybe Microsoft is like, okay, let's actually, the TV show's going great. Let's at least kind of look into that so Todd doesn't fuck that one up also. And maybe there's some impact there because I'm assuming that New Vegas was just, well, now it's not completely abandoned, at least, even though it's probably pretty sad and bad. I imagine Todd doesn't even want to let that happen. Unless it's literally like, oh, well, New Vegas is dead. It is what it is. Adios. And nuke it on the way out. We know that nukes are still a thing, by the way, in the lore. We know that, you know, Lucy's dad has still access to nukes and they can nuke them like they did, what's its face?
There's Mr. House, and you can kind of see where they're carrying the torch forward. So just really exciting. I've had this kind of New Vegas playthrough going on all year. Now I'm going to start a brand new one and just like burn through this game because I am so excited. We see a couple of other interesting things throughout this trailer as well. The NCR remnants are still around and kicking even after the battle at the end of Season 1. And in fact, the ghoul does reunite with the...
What do you mean NCR remnants, by the way? Because, I mean, what was left of the NCR at the end of Season 1 was already what was left of the NCR from prior. So, what's left of the NCR now is... well, like, what's left times 5 at this point, or 10, I don't know. Nothing should be left of them.
NCR, which I found a bit interesting. They talk about restoring hope. So I'd be interested to see what role the NCR plays in this season. I'm expecting something a lot more subdued, to be honest with you all, because of just how Season 1 ends, but also like the Brotherhood is starting a civil war, and it seems to be mainly about the Strip and the Securitrons, and we really haven't seen any major NCR presence in this season so far. So it looks like they just might make a quick...
I don't exactly understand how a civil war in the Brotherhood is going to happen. Okay.
Appearance here and there. But then we got an interesting one here in this cloaked figure who's talking in what sounds like a super mutant style voice, but the theory...
Yeah, there is a super mutant for sure.
Theories around the Fallout community have been very interesting. It's been everything from Gorus in Fallout 2, who is a intelligent Deathclaw companion who also does wear a big cloak over their head, and they can take it off, but like, I mean, is it Gorus? That would be actually insane. An intelligent Deathclaw helping you out in Season 2. I would love to see that. I don't know, though. My thoughts, like I think many of you out there, is I feel like you know a super mutant voice when you hear it. And that's immediately what I thought of here. And so I'm guessing this is either a new super mutant character, or is it Marcus? Maybe that would be really interesting. But either way, they kept him cloaked for a reason. And I'm really keen to see who...
Yeah, they kept him cloaked because it has to be something that's recognizable. There is a chance it's actually Marcus. I don't know, maybe they just randomly pull Fox out from nowhere. I don't know, it doesn't really matter now, does it? But it cannot be something from the first games, because Todd would never allow that. It's too niche. It's too niche. But then again, you know, the people who are going to be watching this are probably going to sploosh over literally anything as long as you say, oh, that's a reference to something. Bro, because the bar, honestly, for Season 1 was so unbelievably low. People were praising this show because it used guns from the game. Yeah, I'm not shitting you, babe. I'm not joking. This is real. People were praising the TV show, Season 1, how good it was because it had power armor. Yes, because it had power armor. Because it had guns that look like from the game. Which is a bad thing. They should... Dude, everyone who has made a single gun in Fallout 4 needs to be fired. Okay? Because all of those guns look like, I don't know, some kind of puffy toy or something. It's just sad.
Who this might be. But we won't have to wait too long to find out. Again, this season is starting in just over a month now. So this actually might be like the last real trailer that we get in the lead up to the launch of this thing, and that's really exciting because there's still a lot of great things answered in this trailer while still leaving questions like this one, like who is this cloaked figure, to the side. So yeah, it could be anyone really, but if it's Gorse, if it's like a Deathclaw companion, that would be insane because season 2 seems to be a lot about Deathclaws. I mean, we saw in the first teaser trailer, there was a Deathclaw at the end kind of stalking Lucy, but then we also see at the end of this trailer Maximus fighting against a Deathclaw in, by the way, this new...
Canonically, Deathclaws are supposed to shred power armor.
Sick power armor style that looks very much like
NCR.
Put together with a bunch of junk, but then it's got the NCR Ranger helmet on. So I just love the kind of meeting of the worlds there on that power armor style. But yeah, we're seeing a lot of Deathclaws here. So is it...
Well, NCR have their repurposed armor, so that is a thing.
Crazy to say, take it one step forward and give them an intelligent Deathclaw? I don't know. But I imagine this is a super mutant. I feel like this show is hitting a lot of the staples, and like the super mutants are kind of one that they've got to hit soon. And given much of the super mutants moved east, I feel like if we don't see many super mutants this season, then maybe you'll have season 2 at the end tease going to the east, maybe to the capital wasteland or something like that. That'd be incredible. One thing we did get official confirmation on, I mean, it was visually implied when we saw like a bunch of Brotherhood of Steel ships crashing into the desert, but one thing we did get confirmed now is that there is a Brotherhood of Steel civil...
Brotherhood of Steel is such a joke in this series. It's so unbelievably stupid, okay? At least they didn't go at the start what they want to call the Brotherhood of Steel, like a religious organization or religious zealots. And then there were some brain-damaged morons who said, no, the Brotherhood is a religious organization. Bro, they're not religious. But they call that the Knights Paladins. Oh, God. I swear this world needs a purge. I swear they need a purge. In any case, I mean, the Brotherhood is... previously, the Brotherhood was... It was... I liked it in the games because the Brotherhood were not the good guys. But, you know, then Bethesda came in and they're like, aha, we can't have gray things. That's too complicated for our autistic viewers to understand. So, the Brotherhood of Steel are going to be the good guys. And now in this TV show from the good guys, the Brotherhood of Steel have been remade into literal autists. Yes. They make no sense. They're stupid. They completely do things at random. They're pretty much the bad guys that just shoot themselves in the foot constantly. It kind of looks like that. It does not make sense at any point. Granted, the whole show does not make any sense at any point. But still, the Brotherhood is egregiously stupid.
Or ongoing, like they use those actual words. And we see another elder appear in Kumail Nanjiani, who seems to be like rivaling against Maximus, and it looks like Maximus loses his control very fast because he's like literally running away from the fight and everything like that. We do get to connect some dots as well from the season 2 teaser trailer that we initially saw. For example, when we saw all those ships crashing into the desert, we saw Maximus running away with someone in the power armor, and the question was, who is that in the power armor? And I think it's Thaddeus, because we do see a shot in this new trailer where they're like sitting on the desert, the power armor's right there, and you have Maximus and Thaddeus sitting right next to one another. So I'm thinking that's what's happening there. I also have to shout out Reddit for this one because I did not catch this one, but we do see Lucy escaping the vault in a yellow dress. This is kind of noteworthy because, again, in the season 2 teaser, we did see her waking up in a vault, and we see all the way on the right side of this room is this yellow dress. And then when she's driving on that cart, exiting what seems to be the vault completely by herself, she is wearing said yellow dress. So the theory is that Hank, Lucy's dad, has captured her again, has made her safe once more, or something along those lines.
Yep, seems to be like it, considering you can see him wearing a tuxedo and stuff like that. Makes sense.
And she escapes from the vault. Because we also see at one point when the ghoul is walking around New Vegas, he's there with what looks to be Maximus in that NCR style power armor, but there is no Lucy to be found. But then there's shots throughout the trailer of Lucy and the ghoul here. So I'm not sure when and where she gets captured, but it looks like that's what's happening here, and she's breaking herself out. There were a couple other cool tidbits that I wanted to shout out here, like Lucy
the Baldur, I hate these.
using the power fist, the way she kind of like cocks it and then boom. Love that stuff. Of course, we see Legion presence in this trailer here. Not a ton to go off of here, but like we see a Legion camp getting blown up, and we really don't know who is responsible for that. So again, this trailer did a really good job of answering a lot of questions that we as
Well, it's McCulkin. He's responsible for it, I guess.
hardcore fans had, while leaving a lot on the table to be discussed of like where they could be going with certain things. And of course, we get the confirmation Macaulay Culkin is a member of the Legion. A lot of people already put that one together because there was that, I covered in a video, inspection of his ear. Someone like found a very specific angle of his ear and then put it side by side, and wouldn't you know it, they were dead right. Macaulay Culkin
Doesn't even look like it. Anyway, that was Mr. Betty Plays. I can't wait for this disaster. You can probably hear scrubbing again. Still renovations. 10 out of 10. Bye.